I've lived in a lot of apartments. Some were too small, some were too expensive. Some had landlords who made me question if I had accidentally signed a lease in hell itself. But out of all the places I've lived, only one made me wonder if I was losing my mind. It started 3 years ago, January 5th, 2021. I remember because it was the coldest winter I'd ever experienced. The kind of cold that makes your bones ache and makes you reconsider all your life decisions. I had just moved into a small, one-bedroom apartment in a quiet complex just outside the city. It wasn't fancy, but it was cheap, close to work, and, most importantly, I had it all to myself. Or at least, I thought I did. At first, things were normal. I worked. I watched TV. I wasted time on my phone. The place was quiet, too quiet, actually. My last apartment was in a building where I could hear my neighbors arguing through the walls, so this new silence felt unnatural. Then came the first weird thing. The furniture. It wasn't much. I didn't own a lot. Just a couch, a TV, and a bed. But for some reason, every morning I woke up, things weren't exactly where I left them. At first I blamed myself. Maybe I had kicked the coffee table in my sleep. Maybe I had forgotten I moved my chair. But one night, I set my phone charger neatly on my nightstand before going to sleep. When I woke up, it was on the kitchen counter. I lived alone. No pets, no girlfriend, no sleepwalking problem. So how the hell did it get there? I convinced myself I must have moved it without remembering. Brain fog, tiredness, stress, something. Then, 2 nights later, my front door was unlocked when I woke up. The next month, the knocking started. At exactly 3:12 a.m., I'd hear it. 3 slow, soft knocks. Always 3. Always from inside my closet. I didn't check. Of course I didn't check. I told myself it was pipes. Old buildings make weird noises. But then, the knocking moved. One night, I heard it right outside my bedroom door. That's when I started leaving my lights on at night. I could handle the weird furniture movement. I could handle the occasional strange sound. I could even handle the knocking if I ignored it hard enough. But then, I saw the man in my bathroom. It was around 2 a.m. on a Thursday. I woke up, throat dry, needing water. I got out of bed, walked past the bathroom, and for half a second, I saw him. A man standing in the mirror. Not my reflection, someone else. His face was pale and stretched too long, like his skin had been pulled tight over his skull. And his eyes, too dark, too deep, too wrong. I flipped on the bathroom light. Gone. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in bed, sweating, door locked, lights on, holding my phone like it could save me. The next morning, I called my landlord. Hey, did anyone ever report weird stuff happening in this apartment?
Weird how?
Like furniture moving? Or people seeing things?
You want to break your lease?
I packed my bags that afternoon. Now, 3 years later, I wish I could say that was the worst apartment I ever lived in, but it wasn't. Because some things follow you, and I think it followed me. Moving forward, or so I thought. Moving is a pain in the ass. Packing, hauling boxes, dealing with landlords who suddenly forget they owe you a security deposit. All of it sucks. But after what happened at my last apartment, I didn't care. I needed out. That's how I ended up at Pinewood Apartments. It was old, cheap, kinda ugly, but quiet. At least that's what I thought. I had only been there about 2 weeks when I met Josh. Josh was a lot. overly friendly, always outside. The kind of guy who says, "Sup, bro," way too much.
Yo, you're new, right?
Yeah. Just moved in.
Nice, man. If you ever need anything, I'm literally right next door.
At first, I thought, cool, friendly neighbor. Then I noticed something weird. Every time I left my apartment, Josh was already outside. Going to work? He's there. Coming back with groceries? Already there. Taking out the trash at midnight? Standing there, watching. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Maybe Josh was one of those guys who just liked to socialize. Then the noises started. The first time I heard it, I thought, rats. Has to be rats. Gross? Yes, but not supernatural. So I bought traps, poison, the whole exterminator starter pack. I even called my landlord, but of course, he just sighed. Yeah, I'll send someone next week. Next week came. No exterminator, but the sounds, they got worse. At first, it was just scratching. Then, a weird shuffling sound, like something dragging along the walls. Then, a new noise, a clicking sound, faint, sharp, like nails tapping against the drywall. I told myself it was nothing, until I realized it was coming from inside my bedroom wall. Josh knows something. The next day, I ran into Josh. For once, I was glad to see him. Hey, weird question. You ever hear strange noises at night?
Like, what?
Scratching, tapping, whispers. Josh's face changed. The easygoing grin dropped.
Nah, man, must be the pipes.
Pipes don't whisper, dude. Josh forced a laugh. Then he leaned in.
Look, just don't mess with the walls, okay?
I blinked. Mess with the walls? What does that even mean?
You'll be fine, bro. Just don't think about it too much.
And then he walked away. I didn't know what bothered me more, what he said, or how fast he left after saying it. That night, I was done pretending everything was normal. I grabbed a screwdriver and pried open the small vent on my bedroom wall. I shined my phone flashlight inside, expecting dust, pipes, maybe some dead bugs. Instead, I saw a blanket. My stomach dropped. I reached in and pulled it out. It smelled awful, like sweat and mold. Then, something else. A notebook. I flipped it open. Pages of messy handwriting. He doesn't know I'm here. If I stay quiet, I can live here forever. I kept reading. Sometimes he leaves food out. I think he suspects, but he hasn't found me yet. I flipped to the last page. I think he saw me through the vent last night. I need to move soon. I slammed the notebook shut. This wasn't old. Someone had been living inside my walls. Recently. The next morning, I was done. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think. I needed out. So I did something stupid. I told Josh, "Dude, I'm out. This place is messed up."
Yeah? What happened?
I hesitated. I didn't want to sound crazy. Just weird stuff, man. Someone was in my apartment.
Oh, that.
That? Josh sighed and rubbed his jaw, looking almost guilty.
Okay, look. I didn't want to freak you out, but yeah, some weirdos used to live in the walls. Landlord covered it up.
You knew?
Hey, it's cheap rent, man.
I was too tired to argue. Josh, ever the nice guy, offered to help me find a new place.
Actually, I got a buddy moving out soon. I can hook you up. Nice place, good deal.
At this point, I would have moved into a tent if it meant escaping that apartment. A week later, I was out. New apartment. Fresh start. Josh even helped me move. I thought I was free. Until the first night. I clicked off the bedside lamp and rolled over. Finally, a peaceful night's sleep. Then, click. The light turned back on. I sat up fast, staring at the glowing bulb. I knew I'd turned it off. I knew it. Slowly, I reached over, flicked the switch. Darkness again. I lay back down, heart racing. Then, click. The light was back on. The unsettling part? It wasn't flickering. It wasn't glitching. It was being turned on, deliberately. And then, it got weirder. The next day, I stepped outside for air. That's when I saw him, a kid playing on the sidewalk. Nothing weird about that. Until he turned, and I froze. Because he looked like Josh. Like exactly like Josh. Same smile, same hair, same face, just younger. I felt a cold chill crawl up my spine. Josh never mentioned having a little brother. I checked my phone, pulled up Josh's contact, and sent a text. Hey man, weird question. You got a younger brother?
Nah, only child. Why?
I didn't reply. I just went back inside and locked the door. That night I was dozing off when I heard it. A faint static hiss, like an old radio struggling to find a station. Soft at first, then louder. I sat up, eyes darting across the dark room. I checked my phone, nothing playing. I checked my laptop, muted. The sound was coming from nowhere, or worse, from everywhere. Then, a voice, a whisper through the static, searching, looking, like someone was scanning through radio frequencies trying to find me. And then, Josh called. I hesitated before answering.
What's up? Just checking in, man. You like the new place?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sleep okay?
Why?
Just wondering.
You hear the radio yet? I went cold. What? Nah, nothing. Just messing with you, man. I laughed it off, but my hands were shaking. I don't talk to Josh anymore, because now I'm starting to wonder, did he really help me find this place? Or did he just pass me along?